All right. All right. Let me adjust this real fast. To everyone watching live and everyone watching after this is posted, welcome. Talk about a few things today. Some of the things on my agenda always community. Um, Barbie, saw that movie a week ago, I think. Ninja Turtles, saw that a couple weeks ago. I finished Toast of Tinseltown today. And there's some Our Flag Means Death news that there's a Vanity Fair exclusive first look article. So I'll probably screen share and go through that as well. But let's see, it's been a couple of weeks and I missed the last two community episodes to talk about. So that would have been last week was Intro to Political Science. That's when the VP Joe Biden was going to Greendale, and the Secret Service was there. Awesome episode. And then this week, Monday, I posted 2X18 custody law and Eastern European diplomacy. Excuse me. That's the one where Chang was smoking his pipe. He was trying to be more of an adult because apparently he wanted custody, or he thought he did. And then that was the other one where the guy they were playing Call of Duty with, Troy and Abed, and he was a little bit too good. And it looks like Blips is here. What's going on? Actually, it's so crazy because I read that as How Goes It, even though you wrote Hound Goes It. I knew exactly what you were talking about. Change. Oh, Chang is one of a kind. Chang he is crazy. And he said it at the end of one of the episodes. He's like, I am crazy. Like, we know. He's good, though. I do like him as Senor Chang better. What should I talk about first? I guess I could talk about what I want to talk the least about just quickly. A couple of the movies that I saw. Oh, actually, first I want to check how my stream is doing health wise. Oh, stream health is looking good. Twitch is up, looking good. I'm dual streaming to Twitch as a test. I don't have anyone following me there really. But anyways, um yeah, I saw Barbie. I think I saw Barbie first a couple of weeks ago, and then I saw Ninja Turtles a week after, and I really enjoyed both movies. Hey Kira. Kira says that Joker shirt is something else. Hope your day's going well. It's going good. It's a pretty good day. This is I've had this shirt for so long. I can't believe it's still actually like in one piece. But it is, yeah, the Joker and Loki. If you could see, that's why it says Jokey. It's the Joker and Loki. But um Barbie was great in my opinion. I really enjoyed that movie. Everyone in the cast was great. Margot Robbie was the perfect Barbie. I don't think they could have cast anyone else to have done as good a job as she. I know there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of just, in general, beautiful women in Hollywood, but it took more than beauty to be Barbie. Like, she was Barbie. It's so crazy. Hey, Shira. Shira adores Margot Robbie. I don't think there's anybody in the world who thinks different. She's great. She seems really down to earth. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I think we all are, kind of. But the movie was so good, and the plot of it, I would have never guessed like the turn with the Kens. I think I almost guessed the plot, why she had to go to the real world. I think on my video I said like something happens in the real world that affects them there, which isn't a stretch. Like I think everyone assumed that. Um, I thought it was going to be um, someone is like I think I said someone at Mattel was like changing Barbie, like the doll, and that change was affecting Barbie. But obviously, it was different. It was America Ferrera's character was going through some stuff, and like her mental anguish, which she was drawing, was affecting Barbie. So I was close. Um, but yeah, I did not expect Ken to go to the real world and like just stick to the patriarchy so much to actually get back to Barbie Land and actually be able to change all the Kens, like to overthrow all the Barbies. Like that was a surprise to me. And then I was also a little bit surprised that the Barbies that were there actually went along with it. But I did not, I didn't think that like Ken was going to be the villain of the movie, even though technically he really wasn't a villain in the movie. But you know, Chris said, "I hope Oppenheimer's as good as Barbie is supposed to be. Going to a double feature, seeing both this weekend. From what I haven't seen Oppenheimer, but I haven't heard anyone who's seen both not enjoy both." Um, he says, "Did they play the Aqua song Barbie Girl?" I think they played the remix or a remake. I think it was Nicki Minaj and someone. They definitely did a remake, and I didn't stay through all of the credits, so I don't remember if they played the original. But all in all, Barbie was awesome. Ninja Turtles was awesome. And I was thinking the original animated cartoon was out when I was a kid, which obviously is going to be my favorite because as I grew older, I stopped watching the animated ones that were new for other kids. So I've always had that in my mind. And then the Michael Bay movies I've watched, and I mean, they weren't great. A lot of people hated them, but they were all right. But after watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last week, I like kind of looked back on those, and they're supposed to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So teenage, teenager is the first word. And in Michael Bay's, they did not look like teenagers or act like teenagers. And in the original that I used to watch as a kid, they didn't look as mature as they did in Michael Bay's movies, but they didn't look like teenagers. In this movie, that was the thing that stuck out to me. They did the teenage part so perfectly. Like they sound, I'm assuming they cast kids or like young adults. They sounded like kids. Like they sounded like teenagers, maybe like 13 years old. Like they, and their mannerisms were like teenagers. They had teenager problems, dealing with Splinter like a dad, as teenagers do with their dads, like not being able to go out or being grounded. It was really good. Um, the plot point, or what was I going to say? Rocksteady and Bebop. I mean, all the characters were dope. I enjoyed all the characters in the movie. When it comes to like a sequel, I don't know. I don't know if I should say this. It's not really a spoiler for the plot, but as of now, Rocksteady and Bebop aren't like the Ninja Turtles rivals. They're kind of on their side. So now that I said that out loud, if they get a sequel, which they tease to, and I think the second one is a definite, because obviously we didn't get Shredder in the first movie, so he'll probably be introduced in the second one. I feel like as the Ninja Turtles age up more from teenagers to like maybe from 13, 14 to like 16, 17, maybe in the third movie, Shredder will then recruit Rocksteady and Bebop, and somehow, you know, he'll get into their minds so they're against the Ninja Turtles. Kira said, "Are you enjoying Community more as it progresses? Like how Jeff doesn't seem to be rubbing you the wrong way as much as he did in the first few episodes." I love Community. That's why I wanted to talk quickly about the movies because I want to get into Community. But it is definitely one of the best shows I've ever watched. Like I understand there are growing pains with all shows, but Community was never bad. You know, episode one, two, three, four, five, they were great episodes. I just didn't like a character. And I think that's a good thing because if you love a character, that's emotion. If you hate a character, that's emotion. That means the writers and the actors are making you feel something. If you watch something and you're like, oh, um, I like him, I don't like him, I don't really care about the rest. If you don't care about a character one way or the other, then it's not a good show or it's not written well. Um, the only character now that I have a problem with, and I don't mean, since I'm not going to say Pierce, I understand Pierce's character is written as a race. Like, I don't like Pierce, like the person Pierce. So that's not what I'm talking about here. The only character that I guess, unhappy with his current arc, and hopefully it changes, is Chang. Only because I loved his dynamic as a professor, because as a professor, he's above all the students. So his dynamic, I think, fits his personality better. Like, I know Chang now wants to be liked, wants to be accepted, but he also kind of, when he's not depressed, feels like he's better than everyone. So when he was a professor, he was better than everyone. Like, he was above them. I loved that dynamic. I hope it comes back, but I don't know. I don't see them giving him his job back. Chris said he was in that era where the Ninja Turtle cartoon was big, but just like X-Men could never get into the animated series. I really wish if I could go back, there's a lot of things I would change or do that I didn't do. But as a kid, I would probably watch more animated television. Um, it's hard to say that because I played a lot of sports, so I was outside a lot. So it wasn't that I wasn't interested in it. I was just doing other things. But I would definitely watch more animated. Let me quickly pull up. Whoops, where am I? Over here. The episodes that we missed, because it's been 2 weeks since I did this, as I said earlier, was Intro to Political Science. That was not this Monday, last Monday. Excuse me. So that one was the episode where President Biden was coming to Greendale. What a great episode. Oh my God. It was funny because one in real life, he, like, would the vice president of the United States go to a Greendale? I mean, he might go to like a community college, a prestige community college, or maybe a prestige university. Obviously, he would, but Greendale is so like not there. It's hilarious that he was coming, and it made it even funnier that they didn't even have like a representative. They didn't have a student body representative. Hey, late to the party. Thank you for hopping. Yeah, we're talking about um, intro to political science. So when Biden's coming, they have the debates to see who's going to represent them. So we had Annie, who, um, me watching it, she was the only one that I felt was legitimately interested in doing it, right? No problem, Jay. It's no problem at all. So Annie wanted to run, I think it was student body. I don't remember the technical term, but she legitimately wanted to, and I really think she would have been great at it. She seems to be really into it, and she has strong opinions, and I feel like she would be good at that. But then, of course, Jeff needs to be Jeff and try to run to beat Annie. And I don't say it like Jeff is as bad as he used to be, but it's still kind of crappy that someone you consider your friend, like a really good friend, wants something and you just can't help yourself and you have to get into the race just on spite. So Jeff did that. And then Pierce, all he wanted to run was so that other girl would quit, because apparently he asked for a pencil. She didn't give it to him, and then as we see, she sticks him in the face with it. Shira said, I like how Biden was Leslie Knope's. Oh man, Parks and Rec. That's another one. I did the first 3 episodes as a reaction last year, and nobody watched it, so I stopped. I think I watched that series 3 times. Maybe when I get big, when my channel grows a lot, maybe I'll go back to it because I love that show. Who else ran? Britta obviously gets caught up in it, and no one really votes for her, so she was like a sad trombone. We had Magnitude, which was hilarious when him and Leonard were battling with the pop pops and the that was nuts. It was awesome having Troy and Abed be the commentary, and it kind of was like they were announcing it. I don't know if they still do it because I haven't watched the Olympics in a while. But again, when I was younger, that I remember that's how the Olympics used to be announced. But like, what was his name? Al Michaels, maybe, or whoever. They would just be sitting two people at a desk. It kind of reminded me of that. But the biggest and my favorite part of this episode was obviously with Abed and the Secret Service agent. That was so good. The way they subverted expectations. Obviously, in the beginning when I was watching, and I feel like maybe most of you felt the same, he was being racially profiled when they were checking his bags and all that stuff. Um, excuse me. Shira said when Annie embarrasses Jeff with his, oh my God, that was amazing. And I'm old enough to remember the Faith video. That was one of my favorite videos when I was a kid. But yeah, that was dope. What would have made that even funnier is if that was like what's his real name? Joel McHale? Sorry, I'm not great with names. You know, sometimes the actors in real life do something silly and they have it on tape and they pull it into an episode. That would have been funny if you really did that. Um, but yeah, it was really dope how we all thought she was racially profiling Abed, but in fact, she was into him, and that was the only way that she could get close to him. And to me, that's like genius writing, because if you think of it, if for some reason you were able to get that close to a Secret Service agent, it's not going to go well. Like they're obviously there to protect the president and the VP. So if they're 5 feet from you, they're not there to talk to you. Like they're there because they think you either did something wrong, you're a threat, or they're coming that way and they need you to move. So that's like genius writing for her to get close to him. It's like, I like this guy, so I need to profile him so I could talk to him. That was so cool. And then how at the end he's watching the movie and she actually has the microphone in his apartment, and she's only listening, like she's not talking, but he says honk, if you want to do this again, and she does. So I don't mind this spoiler. I'm crossing my fingers. Do we see the Secret Service agent again? Please? That was so cool. I'll take a little pause, and I guess whoever is watching, what was your favorite part of Intro to Political Science? I feel like for most people, it should be Abed and the Secret Service agent, and Troy and Abed doing the broadcast. Chris said, Annie is fierce, would not want to mess with her in a political struggle. Me neither. Her mantra, no matter what you're told, we have to, oh, that's right. No matter what you're told, we have to clean the mold. That was so funny. Oh my God, freaking Annie's the best. There is that like one poorly written character in this show. It's so good, and it's only the middle of the second season. I still have, what, 3.5 seasons to go? So good. Kira said, I don't remember if we see the Secret Service agent again. Abed has so many people romantically interested in him. Well, that makes me happy then. So I definitely would have loved to see her again, but it's cool that that is the case. So he'll have more love interests as goes along. I still think one of my favorite parts up until this point was when they were trying to hook up Abed with that girl in season 1, because they felt like he had no self-esteem, but Abed actually said he knows he's handsome, etc. Like that was great. Kira said, but that's because Danny Pudi is a cutie. Oh yeah. Oh man, someone needs to slap me for the first season and a half. I was mispronouncing his last name, and I feel so bad. So I'm glad someone corrected me a couple of weeks ago. Late to the party. Yeah, that was the one where Troy runs to the mop closet or whatever, where Annie and Jeff were apologizing to each other, and he's like, "You have to see this," and then you go back and yeah, it's like pop pop, and Leonard's like, That was fun. Like, what is going on? And then nobody won. They voted for South Park. Chris said, "Oh, it's okay. I didn't know how to pronounce Pootie's name either." I think it was probably because I I was so conscious in not mispronouncing his last name. And usually it happens when people have longer names. Sometimes you you or I we don't pronounce it correctly, and then the way we say it makes it sound like stupid. So I was saying putty because I thought Pootie wasn't like it didn't sound right. Like I didn't want to call him a name that, and it turns out I was wrong anyway. So what can you do? Okay. So after that this past Monday, I posted episode 18, Custody Law and Eastern European Diplomacy. So this is the one where Chang was trying to kind of be more of a man because Jeff wanted him out of the house, even though Shirley really just wanted Jeff to get Chang to sign that prenup, or not a prenup, but the agreement where he would have he wouldn't, basically the kid wouldn't be his. And then there was Troy and Abed met the new guy and they were playing video games. Shira said, "Don't know what Troy's deal is with the phrase butt soup." And it's a joke that goes on for a bit. It's been said a couple of times through the season. Now that you mention, I do remember him saying it a couple of times. Um, so I don't remember the guy's name, but it was a great episode. Um, Chang, again, I don't want to like beat a dead horse, but like I said, I enjoy him more as a professor with that dynamic, but he is doing well as just being like a psychopath pretty much. Because I remember in the early season two, he was kind of like having split personalities, and they would show it at the end of the episode, and they don't do that anymore. I used to like that Gollum Schmiegel kind of thing because he really wanted to be in the group. So now, I guess we don't really need that because we're seeing Chang just go crazy during the episode. So we don't really need him to tell us anymore. Like we could see it. He's nuts. Like when he gets arrested at the end of the episode and he like goes through the vent to break out, he's nuts. Late to the party said Chang takes the psychopath to a whole new level in the future. Oh my god. I cannot imagine it, but he is definitely on his way. So I kind of enjoyed that arc where it went from um like how Shirley just wanted to kind of like she didn't care that Chang went to jail. She just wanted him out of the picture so she could be happy with her husband. But I did like that her husband kind of empathized or sympathized with Chang. Like Jeff wanted to put him away for 30 years. Like Shirley didn't care if he went to jail, but Malcolm Jamal Warner was like, "What is wrong with you people?" He was like the stable mind where I think we needed that because as much as you might not agree with Chang, what Shirley and Jeff were doing was not very nice to try to get someone like falsely arrested, even though technically he did kidnap kids because they were the wrong kids and it might have been kidnapping anyway. But that's beside the point. So what was I saying? Yeah, so he kind of sympathized with them and he gave that little speech like, nothing is going to be perfect. You know, you just have to roll with the punches. Like, let him, if he's in his life, he's in his life, but he's not going to be like he doesn't have the mental capacity probably to be a father like full time. Kira said when Chang brought the wrong kids home from school, I couldn't believe that was so wrong. Oh man, Chang, he's nuts. There's really nothing else you could say about him. He is nuts, absolutely. Yeah. So the second part of that was Troy and Abed have a new friend that they're playing video games with, and they don't want Britta to date him because obviously they say everyone that Britta dates, basically, she breaks and they can't become friends with them anymore. They said, what did they say about Jeff? Oh, they called him something about his nipples, I think. Tiny nipple Jeff or something. And then she's like, how did I ruin that? And they just like, he's not here, is he? That was kind of funny. But I did recognize him as the character from Agent Carter. And he looks so young in this episode, but dude, the duality of them playing like a Call of Duty where his character was like a domestic terrorist, pretty much, I guess, trying to cleanse his country. Oh, Jeff Nipple Play Winger. that's that's even worse and funnier. Oh my god. So yeah, that was pretty funny. I want to try to find his name. So it was 218. Community 2x18. Do do do. Let's see if they have the name of the cast. Where is he? Okay, Malcolm Jamal Warner is Andre. All right. Okay, Luke. Wait, Enver Jokaj was Luca. Yeah. So Luca was the guy who was definitely not afraid to kill innocent people, and that carried over to Call of Duty. Shira said that actor that played Luca, it was so cool to see him move from Agent Carter to the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, yeah, I totally. Oh, man. It's been so long since I watched it. I totally forgot he was in it. So cool. But he didn't play. I don't remember. He didn't play the same character, did he? I don't even remember. I'm getting old. But yeah, that accent he did was crazy. But yeah, I love how like Britta kind of. I mean, I would take them serious too if they were like, "Don't date this guy. We don't want to hear anything bad." Basically, I would probably at that moment not say anything. But when you find out a guy is like that's like worse than bad, it would still be kind of hard to be like, "Hey, Troy Abed, this guy is also a psychopath, and this is the shit that he does." At first, they might think that she was just lying, but the way he spoke about it to Britta, you knew if someone approached him about it, he wouldn't lie because he was open and honest about what he did to her. So like, you knew he wouldn't be ashamed of it. So it's cool how they settled that all up. Let's see. So those were the episodes of Community this week. Kira said, yeah, I think his name was Dan. Oh, yeah, Daniel Souza was the character's name. Same character in both. He and Daisy became. Oh, yeah. That's because Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Daisy, they went back in time and she met him before Agent Carter, right? I believe that's what happened. Oh, all right. Let's see what else I watched this week. So, obviously, I watched Atlanta. Unfortunately, I don't get a lot of views on that, so I probably won't talk about it. But that is another one of the best shows on TV. I don't think anyone would disagree. It's so good. We watched Ahsoka season 1, episode 1. We didn't do a reaction, but the Kind Assassin did a little review. It was good. I enjoyed it. Kira says, have you ever watched The Good Place? I've literally only watched the pilot probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And I didn't stop because I didn't like it. I just was watching other things, but everyone I talk to also says that's a really good show. And I think I spoiled myself about the season 1 twist, but I'm the type of person that, yeah, I don't want to hear a spoiler, but it's not going to affect me watching it. Like, if I were to binge watch season 1, halfway through it, I'd probably forget anyway. And then I'd be surprised because I don't know where in the first season they tell you the twist. I just kind of know what happens. Man, I don't know why I sound like I have a raspy voice. What else do we got? Brooklyn Nine-Nine was Emmy time, where Peralta was the secondary on the case, but he was just ended up flirting with and banging the medical examiner when he was supposed to be doing work and getting the reports. That was a pretty funny episode. I'm really liking Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Um, I would really suggest, and it's hard for me to suggest it because the only way I was able to find this series was on this app called OnStream, which is only on Android phones. Um, I shouldn't really show it because it's not up to board, but the show Toast of Tinseltown, if you guys like What We Do in the Shadows and you like Matt Berry, he did, I think, 3 seasons of Toast of London, I think 10 years ago, or maybe 2 seasons. And then they came back last year with Toast of Tinseltown, where he plays an actor and he gets sent to Los Angeles to be in a Star Wars movie. It is hilarious. It's only 6 episodes, but they're only 25 minutes. Like, you could finish Toast of Tinseltown so quick. Wild, hilarious, and this had a twist I did not see coming. Chris said, I think I have an intense hetero crush on Jake Peralta. I adore Rosa and Amy too, so I can rationalize it that way. I will say that show has a very beautiful cast all around. Shira says Matt Berry was so good on It Crowd. I did not know he was on that, so let me look at it. Let me look it up. Okay, so this is a British show. When was this from? 2006. 25 episodes. This one seems to be on, oh, this is on Amazon Prime, so I'll be able to actually watch this the correct way. It looks like this was 1 season, right? Yeah, 2000. Oh, this is good. I love 22-minute shows. It's like perfect. Oh no, this was 4 seasons. Oh my God. That's why I love British shows. They're usually like quick or short episodes or short series, like Sherlock. What was that? 3 episodes a season, but they're an hour and a half each. This is 22 minutes. Season 1 was 6 episodes. Season 2 was 6. Like, I could do this. 24 episodes and 4 seasons, and they're all like 22 minutes each. Like, that is my sweet spot. I love that. I shouldn't be eating on this. It probably sounds annoying. But Kira, going back to The Good Place, I just, if I have more time to add more shows sometime down the road, there's probably one that I could add, but it's just a lot. But when I go look at like the shows that I am doing, What We Do in the Shadows is done in 3 more weeks, and then that's off the board. But then Our Flag Means Death comes in October. Um, Atlanta, I'm almost done with season 3. Season 4 is 10 episodes, so 3 months. Atlanta's gone for good. Toast of Tinseltown, I finished. That's gone for good. Community, I have for like another, I don't know, year and a half or 2 years. And then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I probably have like a year or 2 years worth of, probably 2 years or more worth of videos. So eventually I'll have to pick up some more shows. It Crowd is one of those series where they run their course and then they're over. American shows run far too long. Friends lasted far too long. Yeah, American shows, I'll agree. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword because when we do get a show that ends perfectly, you get so sad. Like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, those are in my top 5 of favorite shows of all time. They ended perfectly to me. Like, I wanted more, but we didn't need more. But you know that feeling you get when it's done and you're like, oh, come on, one more season or do a movie. Chris said, I haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows yet. The movie was good. I was burned out on vampires. Chris, it's funny you mentioned that because I don't watch many vampire shows or movies, and I don't do zombie stuff. I'm kind of really I don't think I've ever been into zombie stuff, but this is my like What We Do in the Shadows, my take. So I watched the movie first, um, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I remember watching with my brother. I thought it was the funniest movie I ever seen. Like I thought it was hilarious. Really good movie. It is a really good movie. So I watched that. And then 2 years ago, The Kind Assassin, my girlfriend, she told me about the TV show. I didn't even know about the TV show. So I think it was middle of season three. So I binged all of season three, caught up. Then we watched, the end of season three together. And then we watched season four together. And now we're watching and reacting to season five together. I went back, I think a month ago or 2 months ago to rewatch the movie, and I couldn't watch it. I don't know what changed. I didn't think it was funny anymore. It was, excuse me, kind of like bland to me. I just couldn't do it. I don't know how I went from thinking or watching it the first time and loving it to not even be able to get through 25 minutes the second time. So weird. But I will say, I think you'll enjoy the show. It's so good. Season one, to me, the best seasons are one, two, and five. And then three and four, while good, they're not as good as one, two, and five, but it's all hilarious. The cast is perfect together. You'll love Guillermo. Guillermo is the best. I don't know, everyone loves him. And I originally, again, when the Kind Assassin told me about it and I saw Matt Berry was in it, I had to watch it. And it's funny because I know Matt Berry from Disenchantment, the animated show on Netflix where he plays the pig, Mortimer. Um, what else do we have? September 1st on my Patreon, I'll be watching Mission Impossible 1 for the first time. So there's that. I think I've only seen the new one and the one with, what's his name? Henry Cavill, which I've only seen two, but Fallout is my is my favorite. Like that movie, I can't believe. Well, I don't want to say I can't believe. That's what they do in movies like that. The villains die. But I wish Henry Cavill's character didn't, so he could be in more Mission Impossibles. Um, what else do we have? Speaking of Disenchantment, the final season starts on September 1st. And this is one I'm conflicted because this is one of my favorite animated shows, and I would love to do reactions to this one, but I don't know if I have the time. Sometimes I just want to watch a show and appreciate it and not have to worry about reacting to it because it's kind of like mine and the Kind Assassin show. It's like our thing, and while we love What We Do in the Shadows and we react to those together, sometimes it's just a little bit different watching a TV show or a movie, just cameras off, you know? Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so we have 20 minutes left. I want to quickly go through this Vanity Fair article that came out today on Our Flag Means Death Season 2 exclusive first look. And then if anyone is still on, I would love to answer any questions or hear what you have to say about any of the shows. So let me just switch it up. Okay. So this article, I believe, came out today. And it's just some pictures from season two because they've been kind of terrible with really showing anything about season two. We haven't got a trailer yet, a teaser, and I think it definitely comes out in October. it's been over a year since season one. I don't know what the deal is, but at least we have this. So here we have a nice little picture of the group under a little bridge. So this takes place after Steed gets to the little island and rescues whoever's on there. We see everyone except for Lucius and oh my god, why am I so bad with names? Lucius and oh my god, unreal. I'm the worst. Lucius and Jim. Oh my god. So Lucius, we know, got thrown overboard, and Jim, Blackbeard wanted for his crew, so basically kidnapped them. So it's pouring. Looks like they're on the hunt maybe to look for them, but maybe they meet them up at an island, another one. Let's see. We got another picture of Steve Bonnet, and this looks like he's in his garb from the end of season one after he left Mary's to go find his crew, but here he looks to be in a home maybe. So I don't know if this is like a flashback to like before he got in the little boat and after he left the house, or it could be after that, but it looks like what he wore at the end. What else do we got? Okay, we have a new character. This is Anne Bonny, played by Minnie Driver. Do they say anything really about her character? I don't see anything. They have a picture of her, but nothing about her in the article. That's weird. Oh, here we go. Fresh faces. Minnie Driver will guest star as the real-life Irish pirate Annie Bonny, or Anne Bonny. And Rebo Kwan joins the cast as mysterious merchant Susan, and a lot of New Zealand actors and locations. So I guess that's down here. We have Steve Bonnet again with a little message in a bottle. Still looks like he's in what he was wearing at the end of season one. So these really don't spoil anything. And I saw this picture earlier. I kind of was like, this is the original Guardians of the Galaxy. It kind of looks like a team up group, like a superhero group. But this is cool. How they're all in like superhero uniforms. So I don't know where they could be here. Maybe some kind of church or something? Yeah, it says wherever it is these revenge crew members have found themselves, there's something that surprised them. Maybe they are meeting up with Lucius for the first time, or Jim. Nobody knows. But if they were in some place religious, that would make sense because Jim is no stranger to churches. Okay, finally a new picture of Taika as Blackbeard. He looks sad here. I'm still I'm speechless. But I love the arc in season one where he went from Blackbeard to just Ed. Usually in shows, one season will have one arc for a person. And Ed really had 3 arcs in the first season where, like I said, he went from Blackbeard to Ed with Steed, and they were like, the relationship was really progressing. And then he went back to Blackbeard. That doesn't happen often. And it made me sad because it's another one of those shows where you don't get to be happy. You don't seem to ever get to be happy. And it's the same thing with Guillermo in all of the What We Do in the Shadows episodes and seasons. He's never been allowed to be truly happy. Chris said had completely crushed on Minnie Driver from Good Will Hunting and Gross Point Blank. The funny thing about me is I know who she is, like the name. When I saw Minnie Driver's name, I immediately knew of that person. Like it's a name that I know. The thing that was weird was I thought Minnie Driver not the person. Like when I see her, I thought that Minnie Driver was like 75 years old. So I know the name, but I probably was thinking of someone else because I was looking when I saw the picture. I was like, that lady does not look that old, and she's not. She's only like 50. But we have Broken Hearted Blackbeard. Uh, for some reason, I have a feeling they're not going to be together after season 2 either. Just my thought. Steed and Ed, they like to torture us. And we got a picture. This looks like he has longer hair, unless I'm going crazy. No, same hair. So this is another picture. Blackbeard with Spanish Jackie. Leslie Jones. She's so good in this. Do we get to see her wooden hand? It looks metal now, unless that's not it. It's hard to tell. This right here, because it's her right hand that used to be wood. So if her arm is like this way and then going this way, maybe she has a metal hand? I don't know. What do we got here? Oh, here's the new character. This is Rubo Kwan? Ruibo Kwan plays Susan, a merchant with secrets of her own. I don't recognize her as an actress, so for me, she's new, but I'm sure probably everyone else knows who she is. And that's it. They didn't have too many pictures, but they look pretty good. Cinematography looks good. So, I don't know. I don't know. Kira said, do you think Our Flag Means Death will be a long-running show, or do they have an endpoint? I am a fan of the show. I follow tons of super fans of the show on Twitter, and they think, I think judging by what the creator has said, that it's not going to be a super long-running show. I think they expect it to be maybe 3 episodes, 3 or 4, but I don't think it's going to be like 6, 7, or 8. Unless they do maybe a spin-off for some characters, they could do that. Because even though this is like a parody of real life events where I think most of the characters are real from history, obviously some of the characters in real life would have been like 16 years old. I think Izzy at this point I think they said he would have been like 17, and obviously he's like a 40-year-old man. So obviously they take liberties with some things, but they are kind of, I think, being canonically correct in some areas. So if characters in real life, die a certain way, I don't think they would rewrite that for the show. But as I said, it's based on reality, but they could do whatever they want. But I think they really do stay sort of close. But again, I wouldn't mind it going on for a long time. But as everyone or you guys said earlier, it's always good to end a show where people want more. And fun fact about this show, Our Flag Means Death, if you go back and you watch my reaction to episode 1, man, if I would have started season 1 today with the amount of subs I have now, I probably would have been booed off the internet because I did not like episode 1 when I watched it, because I tricked myself into thinking this show was something that it wasn't. And a lot of people do that. They'll say something sucks because it's not what they thought it was supposed to be. I made that mistake. I watched this because I love What We Do in the Shadows. I like Taika Waititi. So I said, ooh, Taika is in this show and he created this show. It's probably the same exact kind of comedy as Shadows. So when I watched episode 1, I was expecting Shadows comedy, and this is not that. It's totally different. So I watched the first episode. I reacted to it. I did not like it. But luckily, the fandom is really nice, and they weren't like shitting on me. They're basically telling me, oh, you just have to watch a couple more. Like, this is the type of show it is. It's not what you think it is. So my rule, I watched 3 episodes and I was addicted. Shira gives me a smiley face. Thank you. I'll give you one back. So yeah, Shadows, I'm definitely looking forward to coming back. And it's now like a month and a half, maybe 6 weeks. So yeah, Shadows will be done. And then 6 weeks from now, that's 6 episodes. I'll be in the middle of season 4 of Atlanta, so I'll only have 4 more episodes of Atlanta to go before that's off the slate. And then yeah, I'm gonna have to find some new shows to watch probably. Hopefully my channel grows a little bit by then, so I have more people to watch with. But I just want to find good, funny shows because I like reacting to comedies rather than dramas. I guess I think it's more fun. If I'm gonna do a movie, then that could be anything. But if I'm gonna dedicate myself to like 200 episodes or something, or 100 episodes, I don't think I could react to like 150 episodes of drama. That might be tough. Let's see. I think that's all I really had on my agenda to talk about. Um, I mean, Shira said, "Have you heard of Jermaine Clement, the actor, band?" I've never heard of his band, but I know there was a movie, Flight of the Conchords. They're as entertaining as Garfunkel and Oates in their eclectic nature. I did not know it was a band. I thought it was just a movie. So Jermaine Clement has a band. Doesn't Reese Darby have a band too? Or am I confusing him? I know he does stand up. I don't know why I thought he had a band. So is the movie Flight of the Concorde about the band? I would assume it would be if that is the name of the band, but maybe I'm wrong. What else do we get? Doo -doo -doo. That's crazy. It's just fixing some stuff. I don't need the cast anymore. Okay. What do we got? 8 minutes. I could say we enjoyed Ahsoka season 1. It was really good. I like all the Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff. I mean, I enjoy it. I don't watch it to nitpick it. Like, I don't watch it to find things that I don't like. I know a lot of people do because you could tell by how they react to something. Their first tweet or their first reaction will be the thing that they don't like. And that's kind of sad. But, I mean, nothing is perfect, but so far the show seems cool. And we're both kind of going in blind. I know a little bit about Ahsoka. Most of it is from Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, seeing her in live action because we didn't watch the Clone Wars or Rebels. But I think like a year ago, I watched a breakdown on Clone Wars and Rebels, and then I watched the pilot episode of, I think it's Rebels. I don't remember, but it's the one where you first meet her and she's with Anakin. Was it Clone Wars or Rebels? I don't remember. I just remember at the end, Anakin's like tells her to during the battle, like, "Oh, stay in the back, stay safe." But she ends up killing all the droids, I think. But that's a lot of animation, a lot of TV to watch. I don't think I'll be able to watch all of Clone Wars and Rebels. And then there's Bad Batch. There's so much stuff. Um, but yeah, I can't say enough about Toast of Tinseltown though. So if you have an Android phone, um, I would suggest getting a VPN and the app called OnStream. That's the only place I was able to find the show. So if you like Matt Berry, it's a BBC show, but it's not on any BBC streaming. I could not find it anywhere. 4 or 5 months ago, every episode was on YouTube. And like an idiot, I did not download every episode. I only watched the first two, and then obviously the rest got taken off, and I couldn't find it anymore. But I love it. That's all I have, really. Shira said Ricky Lindham and Kate Masucci have appeared in a lot of TV shows. You'd recognize them right away. They're band, Garfunkel and Oates. Oh, I'm so stupid. I thought you were confusing Simon and Garfunkel when you said Garfunkel and Oates. I didn't know that was another band by someone else. So let me look right now. Let me look. This is Ricky. Oh, Ricky Lindholm. Let's see. I do recognize her. She is. That's weird. I recognize her, but oh, if she, I watched Wednesday. It says she was in Wednesday, so that's probably where I remember her from. And who was the other person? Kate Masucci or Makucci. I don't know. I'm terrible with names. Kate Miccucci. Oh, I definitely remember her. She's from Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Oh, The Little Hours. That's a movie. If you didn't haven't seen The Little Hours, awesome movie. Aubrey Plaza's in that. So good. Garfunkel and Oates. There it is again. Let me click on that. It's from 2014. So Garfunkel and Oates is a TV show. So in the show, is it a band or are they also a band in real life? Big Bang. I've only really watched those like one off. I don't really watch that, even though it is funny, but I just catch it here and there. So before I only have 4 minutes, let me just read this. The plot. The series follows the personal and professional lives of the comedy folk duo Ricky Garfunkel Lindholm and Kate Oates Micucci as they attempt to make it big in Hollywood. One satirical. Good lord. One satirical song at a time. Okay, so they play themselves. One season, 8 episodes, and it was on what? IFC? What is that? Independent Film Channel. Chris says it's real life. Okay, so I guess it's a show based on themselves, but fictitious. That kind of reminds me of this other show that I watched one episode. Oh, Portlandia. We watched one episode. It was confusing the hell out of me. Crispy says Gallivant and Pushing Daisies were good series too. Gallivant, never watched any. Pushing Daisies, I think I watched one episode. Shira says she loves Portlandia. I would have to watch more. It was really confusing, like super confusing. Great actors. Wow. On the let me do this really fast because this is kind of cool. On the Garfunkel and Oates Wikipedia, Fred Savage directed all these episodes. That's so cool. Unless it's a different Fred Savage, but let's see. Nope, it's the one we know. So cool. That is really dope. Kira said Portlandia had so many musical guests. I'll have to check it out. Another one that I'll probably watch here and there, but not react to. But it is about an hour, so that is my time. It's always fun. I tried to be more organized this time. Not great at it, but I think it's a little bit easier when there are people watching, like you guys, because you get asked questions in the middle of my ramblings, and I'll get better as I go along. But I'm glad you all took the time to watch, and it was really short notice. I only posted it an hour before I went live after 2 weeks of not. But starting today, I'm going to try to get back to my weekly live streams because I enjoy talking about all the episodes that I watch and kind of had to like pack it all in because I had 2 weeks of stuff to talk about. Chris, have a good night, man. It's getting thundery here in Arizona right now. Hopefully we have storms tonight. Stay safe. Last week we had, I wouldn't call it a hurricane. It was a lot of rain, but luckily it wasn't bad. But we did get a couple of earthquakes. But um, again, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Kira. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Late to the Party. Who else was on today? I think I got everyone. Yep, pretty much. Oh, Blips. Blips was on earlier, aka Jay. Thank you all. I don't know what to say. I really appreciate you all again. And I do this for you and I do this with you because it's fun. So I'll see you on the next live stream, and hopefully, you keep continuing to watch some of my videos and comment on them so we could talk there as well. So I'll talk to you all tomorrow, I guess. Shira, oh no, we're glad you're safe. Storms and quakes are not good. They are not, but thank you everyone for your thoughts and have a great night. All right, later everyone.